to you that
Well,
what?
yeah. I mean, can you just give me just a real general, like, where do you work? Are you working just regular on call, various corporate gigs or weddings, or what kind of work do you guys do?
All right. So I wrote a musical, and I was getting help. I'll just spill the beans.
Sure.
Um, I was writing a musical, and I was turning to one of your union members to help me find union musicians. And this man told me basically I wasn't a very good person, and told me that he wasn't going to talk to me anymore. So I emailed your union in New York City, the headquarters, and this evil lying person was forced to resign due to not paying his own musicians. So he told me I'm evil and awful and had to go away, yet I'm having enough, belief that I can get union musicians to pay for my new musical because I just wanted a demo. And instead of him doing the right thing and paying his own musicians at his own business, he actually used the police against me to stop me from trying to get him to unionize.
The police?
The police, yes. This man has two police officer sons.
How? I mean, in what way would the police be involved in this, though?
To keep me from speaking about unionization within his business. It's Mike Avila. We're speaking about Mike Avila. Last summer, I emailed the union in New York City and say, does this man... He excommunicated me from the church. He said I have a demon. I have autism. Okay? I took it to the union in New York City, clearly, and it's on record. I was trying to get Mike Avila to pay to get musicians for me to do my demo. He took me to court and had me put a stalking injunction over this. He has two police officer sons who violated my civil rights. They had me Baker acted. They used the worst, dirtiest police officer in Orange County. You guys have already had my back by forcing Mike Avila to step down and resign.
Well, just to clear it up, that Mike Avila completely surprised me and everybody else with his announcement that he was resigning, but it was not for any reasons like that. He left because he chose a different job to do, and he did it in short order, and I begged him not to do it, only because I didn't want to take over for him. I am now the president of the union. I just...
So you're calling me a liar?
No. I'm just saying that, I'm trying to figure out what could possibly be the basis.
He's a narcissist, sir. And I can prove that. In April of 2023, I called him and I said, hey, I've known him since 2015. We're supposed to be good friends. I've been going to his church since 2015. Okay? I said, hey, I figured out what's wrong. I have autism. And instead of saying, that's great, that's wonderful, he says it's a demon and he had me excommunicated me. Okay? It is in writing, text message. He literally says, I'm excommunicating you because of all this. So I got angry and I wrote your union in New York City. It is on record in your records that I was trying to get help to unionize my church. This is a casual connection. This is retaliation. So he takes me to court in Lake County, and it is a injunction. I have a hearing where he says, I was trying to help Neil with a project. He wrote a musical. So it is before God. And then he says, I don't know what set it off. I don't know what's going on. He says on July 18th, his resignation was he put it in June 18th, 19th. You guys knew about that. And then July 18th was the stalking injunction where it says, as president of the union, but he already stepped down. So he's lying through his teeth there. And then he says, I don't know what Neil's going to come blow me up. He reads from emails that I literally clearly say, unionize your church. Like all pastors, he ignores half the email where I say, unionize your church. And he says, oh, see, Neil, he's threatening me. He's threatening me here, and he takes to the judge. He completely left out evidence. He completely lied. He violated my civil rights, my freedom of speech, to unionize church in his own church. So I couldn't go there. He said I was going to come blow up him, murder his wife, kill everyone, all that. But then in the hearing, at the injunction hearing, he literally says there was no threat to the church. He lied through his teeth about everything. And I can prove it. I can completely prove it. I can prove it through Pastor Will's words, from his sermons, from video sermons. I can prove it in emails I have to Mike Avila, to the union in New York City. I can prove it in text messages to Sheriff Tom Boggs of the Orlando Orange County Sheriff's Department. They couldn't find anything to have me locked up in prison. If I was actually violent and I actually threatened these people, I should be behind bars. Because Mike Avila has 2 police force sons. One's undercover and one's in Lake County. And he used those men against me. They found Tom Boggs, who was, quote, investigating, but really they Baker acted me. Mike Avila had me Baker acted because of this. He put me in the loony bin, and he used a friend from Minnesota. And they said I was going to do all this stuff. He lied. He says things that contradict the Baker Act. And in the Baker Act, it's literally, oh, Neil believes this. Neil believes this. Look, how could Neil know more than the church? So it's a literal Baker Act over my religious beliefs. These men are pure fucking evil. Tom Harper kicked me out of the church. He was the one that signed the trespass thing, because they are not paying their musicians at their church. He was a former union president, and he got away with not paying his own musicians. And when he told me I wasn't good enough for the church, I emailed the union, and I said, you're not good enough for the fucking union. And apparently, if he stepped down on his own, he knew that it was going to come to that. So he was hiding all of it. And then he terrorized his own church, and I can provide video. He says, someone's going to come here and blow us all up and all that. And that's why we have police officers. No, they didn't want to pay their own musicians. Mike Avila needs to be held responsible for not paying his own musicians and having me retaliating against me for trying to get him to pay his own musicians. And there's emails.
I would say this sounds like you probably need to get an attorney. I mean, it doesn't sound like there's anything that the union can do.
The union, really? The union can't fight for this? The union doesn't want to unionize his church and make Mike Avila pay and honor his God? Are you a Christian, sir? Do you not want to see Mike Avila live the faith of, yes, God can provide this contract? Because what he's saying is what you're saying is God God is unable to pay for a union contract. Because...
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Then why can't Mike Avila pay? Because Tom Harper, union musician. Mike Sharp, or Kevin Sharp goes there, former union musician. Davy Jones attends there, union musician. Jim Derrick, union musician, goes there. There's Hank, I can't think of his last name. He plays tuba, bass. He goes there. Janelle Bresnick, the horn, she goes there. This was a union church started by union musicians, and they don't think it's right to pay their own union, their own children, their own kids. They could tell their kids, say, hey, look, we believe in the union so much that we're going to unionize our church, and we're going to pay our kids to say God can provide. So you're against that, then? You're against holding men of faith?
No, I'm just saying that we don't have a contract with them. Whether or not they, it's up to the musicians involved.
I was trying to go there and get involved. I played trombone and I wrote a musical. Mike Avila admits to me trying to work with me in a hearing under God. He lies through his teeth before God. So you're saying it's okay for a man who is a former president to not pay his musicians, to not hold them accountable for lying, and that's what you're telling me as a union leader.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if they set themselves up and they want to play for gratis or whatever amongst themselves, that's fine. I'm saying that which I was trying to do.
I was amongst them, and he kicked me out because I was trying to speak about unionization. That's retaliation. I was trying to unionize his church. I was trying to do that because at the time, Mike Avila was the president. He should have been like, yes, we will unionize. I should have said, Mike Avila, pay your musicians, and he should have said immediately, yes, you're right. Isn't that a conflict of interest? So you're defending a conflict of interest. You are not going to hold the former president of the Musicians Union accountable. You're going to let him slide while you can go around and force other union members to fucking follow the rules, but the president's above that, right?
That's not true.
Then we need to hold him accountable.
Is that, well, one, you're not being retaliated against because you were not an employee of the church. Yeah, I mean, I can't,
right, you're going to defend the abusive man. I get it. You're not going to have a spine and unionize this church. We could go down there and protest. We could protest and strike Mike Avila and say, you pay your musicians. Honor God, and honor what you told us for the last 30 years. Pay your musicians. Are they not worth money? Are they not worth a paycheck? Clearly, you are refusing to defend musicians. That a union member is above. A union member is in charge of musicians, and this union member is getting away with not having to pay his musicians. What's the point of a union then? What's the point of a union? You explain that to me then.
Yeah, the union is to take the people who are its members and help them to avoid exploitation and help them to take their improved working conditions. And that's what I'm actually doing. That is, a church that's independent. The musicians who are working there have not gathered together. I mean, the whole... You're ignoring me. You may want to go and research what
I am
the
in
process...
your union right now. I am in your union, and I am calling on them to unionize their church.
You're a member of our local?
Yes, I am in your local. I signed up for it.
Well,
so you are denying a union member their right?
No. I'm just saying, when did you join our local?
A couple of months ago.
Oh, okay.
Because
sorry,
I
must have missed that. We've been in transition. I've only just become the president within the last basically 30 days. So the dust is still settling in some ways. But
there's one more thing. There's a man by the name of Wes Bentley that Calvary Chapel Orlando loves. This man is a murderer. He literally comes into the church and says it's okay to kill for Jesus. They have a church in Africa that he runs that is designed specifically to murder Muslims in Africa. He comes over, his testimony is literally, I have no problem telling the body of believers it's okay to shoot people. He has never had a problem taking human life. That is video. I have that video. I can send you that video right now. I can send you the link to it, and you can watch it. You can literally hear Mike Avila'S church say it is okay to murder for Jesus. So you support a union leader who wants to murder?
No, I don't. But the whole point is, I don't attend his church. Never have, never will, and it's out of my purview. And I was going to say earlier that the whole organizing process is dependent. It's bottom up.
Right. I'm at the bottom, and Mike kicked me out. Now there's nowhere for me to go.
No. But I'm
saying that against me. It's an email. I can prove it. It was about unionization. He was so terrified he had to resign because he knew that if the union found out, he would be finished. They would be fucking... He needed to save his reputation. That's why he resigned. He's a narcissist. If Mike Avila had literally had a heart for God, he would say, yes, Neil, you're right. I'm sorry for calling you a demon. That was wrong of me. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I should be paying my musicians. I should be the godly man that God has called me to be. But he didn't. He used his police force sons to violate my civil rights, my freedom of religion, and my freedom to unionize a church that I belong to. And I was working with Mike Avila, trying to get union members for my musical. He was working with me. He was the employer, i.e. the musicians union. I was the employer, and he was the employee. I was the fucking business. He was the employee. So he was union. I was trying to negotiate. That is your business connection. That is me trying to get musicians for my own business. And because I said, Oh, with your business, you're not paying your own musicians? He fucking had me Baker acted. So you are siding with someone.
No, but do you still have your musical?
Yeah, it's almost done.
What's keeping you from just getting other musicians? There's hundreds and hundreds of professional musicians who live here.
Right. Mike Avila was the president, and he was specifically trying to get me to do the contract so I could get union musicians. How many times do I need to explain this to you?
Yeah, you see, well, that's the part I don't understand because, one, he's not necessarily a contractor. He was the president of the union. But there's what's keeping you from just putting out an audition notice saying that you're putting together musicians to, I don't know, did you want to record your show? I mean, what was the use? What did you need the musicians for?
Gee, it's a musical. You can't have a musical without musicians. That's the stupidest question in the entire fucking world.
Well, I mean, do you have a cast?
I'm the composer. I'm the director. I'm the playwright.
Yes.
I'm everything. I believe in God so much that He'll provide actual, real life, genuine union musicians with a real contract where I can take it to Broadway and say, this is my musical. I believe in God so much that that's what I wanted from Mike Avila. But Mike Avila didn't see it that way.
If you're going to do it on, if you're going to do it on Broadway, you would be hiring musicians.
I need a demo. I need to record a demo.
Oh, now you're getting back to answering my question.
I'm telling you. Okay. How come I can't?
I asked you what you needed the musicians for. So you just said
a musical. I'm putting a musical on. I've written a musical. There needs to be musicians to play the musical. You can't have. I answered your question very specifically. Now you're telling me I didn't.
Specifically, what is the instrumentation?
It's actually pretty badass. So you got oboe, trombone, electric guitar, a keyboard, piano, organ, keyboard, synth, just a couple of sounds. Two timpani players, two chime players, a drum kit, and some auxiliary stuff. So
okay, so if you want to record a demo, I mean, are you going to record all of the music or a portion of it? I want to do the whole thing. I want a demo of my entire music. So that's fine. Okay. So then,
but let me ask you,
do you have a studio? Do you have a recording studio to record it at?
I'm a completely independent musician. I want to hold Mike Avila accountable for this.
Yeah, but I mean, at what end? What?
So Mike Avila can lie through his teeth before a court of law, and you support a lying man, a former president of the union.
That's none of my business.
It's none of your business as the president of the musicians union to hold the union members accountable?
I'm here to assist you if you want to get your demo produced.
Well, then why didn't Mike Avila help me with that? Why didn't he assist me in that?
I mean, I actually don't know.
He fucking lied and Baker acted me. I'm non-fucking violent. I'm not threatening you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I never threatened Mike Avila. I never threatened to kill anyone. Mike Avila says I was threatening him and I was fucking going to hurt him and his church. And then in the hearing, he literally says I'm not threatening the church or anything. There was no threat. This is all about his pride and his narcissism. And you're defending that.
I'm not. I'm not actually. I don't care to spend 1 minute talking about Mike Avila. If you have a legal issue with him, then file a suit against him. Get an attorney, file a lawsuit. That isn't my job. And my job. In your
bylaws, it says that I'm a union member, and I want to hold Mike Avila accountable. It says that union members need to be held accountable for not paying their own musicians at a business. This is a major conflict of interest, and you are defending not paying. As a union president, you are literally defending a person's right to not pay their musicians. You are literally defending that. You are defending Mike Avila's right.
And who were the musicians who what was the service that was unpaid?
All of them, from start to finish. They are union members that started a church. Union musicians back in the 80s started a church together, and now they have enough money to pay their musicians and they're not. They are saying that unionization does not matter. That is what they are saying, and you are agreeing with that.
Well, yeah, but you see, the idea is that unionization comes when all of the people there agree that they want to have union representation.
Right.
And then they notify the employer that, hey, we have a majority of the people who work here who have decided that they want a third party to represent them in negotiations. And that hasn't happened. If you're just one
I
person,
was trying to make that happen. You do not seem to understand
but
that.
but your key word is trying. Until all
So
of
a
those
bunch of
people
union
come and say,
musicians can get away with not paying themselves, cannot paying others. So me holding a group of union musicians who are literally unionized at other places accountable to pay other musicians who are not unionized accountable. That you are protecting this group of unionized musicians who are unionized in your union, who are being paid and stand up for the union to not have to pay their own musicians. You are defending that. You are a narcissist. I am explaining this clearly over and over and over, and you are not understanding me. This is corruption. You are a corrupt union leader.
Ah, okay. So now you've switched your attack to me.
Right.
And
because you aren't helping me. You haven't shown me any empathy.
Well, right, because I'm trying to make you understand that right
now...
Right,
you're trying to make me understand. You're the superior one, and you want to make me understand.
Yeah,
I'm the one that has to understand that Mike Avila can get away with whatever the fuck he wants, right? I have to understand that you're the union, and the union can get away with whatever the fuck it wants, right?
No, there is a process. And
let's get through the process of getting Mike Avila excommunicated from the union because he failed to pay his musicians.
Well, if you want to file charges against him, there's a way to do that, and that is to go ahead. You can petition him to be put on trial in front of the board, the executive board.
It's
in our bylaws. Read the bylaws.
So once again, I have to do all the research. As president of the union, you're telling me it's my responsibility to read the bylaws. You should know the bylaws so you can help me do this. Fill out the paperwork.
Yeah, no, I will certainly direct you, but what you have, I'm telling you right now, you need to sign a petition that accurately describes the charges, and then you have to get 20 members of the union to sign it. And then it can be brought up at a membership meeting, and then that can lead to a trial. And then the executive board would have a trial to determine the charges and then go forward. But, the thing is that to me, it sounds like you have more of a legal issue with everything that happened outside of the realm of the musicians union, which was your personal liberties being taken away and being Baker acted. That has absolutely nothing to do with
it has everything to do with it. Mike Avila admits under oath in the stalking injunction that he conspired with a friend across state lines in Minnesota to have me Baker acted. He did not mention I was trying to get him to pay his own musicians in that hearing, which I was trying to do. He did not mention that he had 2 police force sons who violated my rights in that hearing. He says I was going to come and it's just vile. And you were protecting a man who did all these evil things. Yes, you are.
That sounds like
you are defending that. You are defending abuse. You are everything.
I am not a police officer. I am not an officer of the court or any other.
No, you are a person with a heart and compassion and a soul. You're supposed to be a fellow American. Did you know that this church also, while I was locked up inside the insane asylum, they stole my flag, American flag, that I was used outside the church to Baker act me? Over the July 4th, they had me locked up over the 4th of July. On top of that, my American flag was stolen. Do you believe that it was okay for the state of Florida, while I was in their custody, to have my American flag stolen?
What year did that happen?
Last summer. Everything happened last summer, 2023.
Oh, okay, a year ago. Okay.
Yes, so you believe it's okay for while in state custody and this is all done by Mike Avila and his police force sons. He conspired with them. He has 2 police force dogs that conspired to take my rights away to stop unionization of his church. They didn't want to pay the contract. This is all about him avoiding to pay the contract. To doing the right thing and paying his musicians, and you're defending that. This is an entirely corrupt union. If you can't even help me. I'm a member, and I'm telling you, he failed to unionize his church. He failed to protect my rights. It was a major conflict of interest, and you were defending that conflict of interest, telling me to go away, and it's my problem. He lied to you about what happened. You literally said you were surprised by his resignation, and you asked him not to. He didn't tell anyone about the truth, and I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what happened. I have emails. 100% can back it up.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, this sounds like it's a lawsuit, not union business. And like I told you, that the remedy.
So what does it have? So there's no reason to have a union. There's no reason to have a union. If a man can come along, be the literal president of the musicians union, and not have to pay his own musicians, and get away with it, and then have the next president defend that decision, that's fucked up, sir. That is fucked up.
And excuse me,
you are defending the ability for a leader of the union to not pay his own musicians. You are defending that. You are defending a president's right to use his dogs like a Nazi Germany to dictate how things happen. This man's a Christian. He should be held to higher standards. He's a pastor of a church, and you're defending a pastor who allows men to preach murder at his church. You're defending that.
Yeah. Could you tell me exactly when you joined the union?
A few months ago. This quarter, my membership ends at tonight.
When did you?
I paid my $40 quarter fee or whatever it is.
And did you join online?
Yeah, I joined online. Your last president tried to. Under
what name?
Neil Houdini or Neil Olson, either or.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, I need to do some research on this. Let me get right back to you.
Yeah, you're going to call Mike Avila, and you're going to tell him everything I said here, and you're going to defend him, aren't
Actually, believe it or not, I've gotten 5 messages from other people who are current members that I'm trying to assist likewise. So I'm just trying to get through as much as I can here.
Oh, right. So, okay, so no actual help from you then?
Right. No, I did give you direction of saying you need legal assistance. You need to find an attorney.
If I go with legal assistance, I'm coming after the union as well, because I'm a member, and you're refusing to help me as a member.
No.
You are defending a man who Baker. You are defending illegal actions. You are defending abuse. You are defending an abusive man.
To tell me, you see, but you're trying to tell me how to help you, and you called me, and I'm trying to tell you. And actually,
now you turn around. I will not help you unless you have to do things my way, Neil. That's what you're saying.
No. Okay.
You're being a narcissist right now. You are being a narcissist. I've explained this several times to you. You are a narcissist. You are a corrupt union leader.
You'll have to hold on for 1 second, please.
He hung up.